The way I look at it is the knowledge that I'm going to die that creates the focus that I bring to being alive. The urgency of accomplishment, the need to express love now, not later.
The worst stage is probably just a bit younger than me because you have GCSEs, A-levels, SATs, all ahead of you, so it's quite overwhelming. Being a kid is quite fun because you have like a lot of friends. Like when you're older, sometimes you like separate friends. So like when you're an adult, you would think, oh, I wish I was a kid again and I had all my friends back. But if you're older, you can you make new friends if you move to new schools.
When you're a little kid, you don't really worry about anything. Like you're not like, oh, got to go to work today or something like that. You just want to have fun. Like growing up as like a teenager and stuff, friends are quite snaky and there's a lot of backstabbing and stuff like that. And there's always a lot of gossip and stuff. But you don't really get that as a kid because everyone just wants to chill and have fun.
When I get old, I'll quite enjoy it because you don't have to work, you don't have to go to school, you get money without doing anything basically.
We lose this like kind of childlike innocence that we once had, and life doesn't become about fun and games and friendship anymore.
I think people look forward to experiencing new things. Sort of like the change in life, I suppose. People look forward to like starting families and like, you know, and going to work and retiring, you know.
Some people might think you get grumpy, or like some people even think that you get quite soft because you're old and you like if you have like grandchildren, you get quite soft on them and you let them do whatever they want. Older people might find it scary because they might die soon as well. But for young people as well, because they know that like they might lose like a family member, so.
But some people look forward to it, and I think people like the freedom aspect and the responsibilities. I don't really want to grow up, to be honest. Like, I do like having freedom and stuff, but you know, I don't really want to stop being a teenager. I kind of like the whole teenager thing at the moment. I'm quite comfortable at the moment. Like, I live with my parents. I don't pay rent. Like, my job, I get to keep all the earnings and stuff. Like, it's a pretty sweet deal.
Do you think I would miss being a teenager? Mainly from the fact that there's so many responsibilities when you grow older, like taxes and feeding yourself, and, you know, mortgage or, you know, your job. I think when you're young and like a teenager, there's so many less restrictions.
My view on life is that you should do whatever you want, whenever you want. Like, you shouldn't go to uni or college doing subjects you don't like to work, like at a job that you don't want to do with some boss that doesn't like you, just because the money's good or because your parents or whoever's told you to do that. I think you should just do what you want, because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to enjoy.
I think some people find growing old scary. Probably mainly for the fact that, I don't know, they fear death, I guess. Because when you grow old, you die, obviously. I suppose when you grow older, you become more restricted in what you can do. Like if you're an old man, you can't run as fast as a younger man, and you know do all the things that you could have done when you were younger.
I would much rather live 20 years happily than 50 years unhappy with just money.
I am a little bit scared of getting older. It does worry me a little bit. I guess the older I get, the more I'm aware that, you know, life does end, and I'm getting closer and closer to the end of my life. I think that what does scare me quite a bit is I see my parents growing older, and the fear, I guess, of losing my parents, potentially even of losing my siblings. I think that ageing isn't portrayed well in the media, and I think that more than anything, what I see in the media, and a lot of it is aimed at women, is sort of all the anti-aging products, anti-aging creams, and, you know, hair dyes to cover all that grey. So it is almost as if, you know, with all these anti-aging products, it's sending the message that growing old is to be avoided at all costs. You don't want to grow old. And I think it's quite interesting that the majority of these things they're aimed at women.
What the media is portraying youth, and actually it's having a negative effect to people that are aging. And not only old people, but just people that are getting mature. Maybe it should be more natural and there should be more acceptance.
In some ways, particularly as a woman, when you feel that sense that you get from having a baby, from having this sort of tiny life that belongs to you, to have to let them go and have their own life. I miss having small children around. I like small children. I like their simplicity.
I think it boils down to the fear of death, you get close to it and you fear to having to depart from loved ones. I'm actually, I don't know, try to live by the day. I'm enjoying my age.
It makes me sad, and a bit nostalgic in some ways to see my children grow up. But at the same time, their growing up, goes hand in hand with my growing older and, coming towards, in a sense, getting closer and closer to the end of my life.
You get slower as you get older. Definitely get slower. Probably not too much. I mean, I try and keep sort of healthy. I think it's probably easier these days to grow older than perhaps it was in my mum's generation, because, I mean, then you'd sort of work till you're 65 and then retire, and then people would sometimes just live a couple of years and then they die.
You're getting old and wiser. You're not as strong as you used to be before, therefore you become more careful, because your capabilities are not what they used to be once before. So the experience takes over, and yes, you become wiser, but you don't know everything. It's not easy, but I'm contented. It's more positive than what it was. Well, I thought it would have been.
I suppose the thing that scares people most these days is because people live longer, a lot more get dementia. It's what worries a lot of people most, and probably me as well. Not that it worries me, but you sort of think about it. Otherwise, it's just a natural process. You're born on planet Earth and you go through certain stages in life, and one day we're all going to die. Life's a journey, and you've only got your time on planet Earth is limited.
It's, after all, it's a matter, of being content in what you have. As you grow up, you make mistake, you take note, and you carry on, regardless.
Life itself is really all about people, friends, family. They say, is it Hemingway? No man is an island. You can't live by yourself. You need contacts and hopefully to try and get on with people as well as you can.
I'm not scared about getting old or worried about it, because it's it's life. It's a wheel that spins and never stops. Now it's my turn to be old. One day it will be your turn.